I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living. But we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever.
Hi, my name is Brett. I'm 37 years old. Born in South Jersey, but lived most of my life in Philadelphia in the Roxborough section. Had a pretty typical life growing up. Good childhood, middle class, suburban neighborhood. Went to school, went to college, went to graduate school. I ended up on the streets a little different than most people.
Try to speak up a little louder, okay? Sorry about that.
I ended up on the streets a little different than most people. I had my life together. I had a girlfriend, had a place to live, had a good job, made money, was helping people. I think my struggle started mostly when my mom got sick and died. I turned to alcohol and drugs to kind of deal with that, I think. And, it basically kind of got a little out of control. But I managed to really, keep it together for a long time. And then there was one day, like I said, I had a good job, this and that. I got pulled over, just basic traffic stop. Police ended up arresting me, taking my car. I ended up losing my job because of that. Couldn't pay my rent and ended up on the streets. It all happened, real fast, a matter of a couple weeks, month. And that kind of caused me to lose hope a little bit and stop caring. And I think that was probably the biggest problem, is that I stopped caring. I've been out on the streets here in the Kensington section of Philadelphia for close to a year now, and I've tried to get clean. I've tried to get off drugs, and it's not as easy as people think, and especially without the support of friends and family. I burned most of my bridges, so my family still loves me, obviously, but they're fed up with the way I've been living, and kind of aren't really there in my day-to-day life. So it's hard, and being out on the streets is not easy. People judge you, and people take advantage of you. Just trying to find a quiet spot to sleep where nobody's going to rob you or try and beat you up is a daily struggle. But I think what's important for me is that people know that not all homeless people are the same, and not all drug addicts are the same. Nobody wants to live like this. We feel like we have to, and that getting out is such an uphill battle, and like I said, without that support, it sometimes just feels insurmountable. But at the same time, I don't plan to be out here forever. like I said, I have felt hopeless at times, but at the same time, I know that I still have a future, and that I could get my life back together. I just need to take the right steps and have the right people around me, and just kind of do the next right thing. So yeah. So I mean, that's where I'm at. Winter was tough, but I'm just I just need to just keep on keeping on.
Find me, find me, find me, please.
Ironically, the last job I had was working in crisis. I was a crisis counselor for help people with psychiatric problems, with drug and alcohol problems, homelessness, basically all the things that I struggle with. That's what I did for a living, was help people like me. So the irony has never been lost on me that I've been on both sides of the coin there, and I know what to do. It's a lot harder to practice what you preach. So I guess maybe I just need somebody like me to kind of give me a swift kick in the butt, and say, hey, you know what you're doing. You know how to fix this. So just
Find me, find me, find me, please.
Heroin is my drug of choice. It's a funny phrase, drug of choice, but that's what I got into, and that's not one that's easy to get off of. So that, yeah, it's literally a full-time job trying to support a heroin habit. Whether you're just getting by and just being able to function, or it's after a while, it's not even about using the drug to get high. It's really just about being able to function and get out of bed, and to be able to eat and walk around. When I first came out here, I struggled figuring out how I was gonna make the money to do that, without a typical job, because in the early part of my addiction, I was still working. I had a paycheck, and I didn't have to really think about that. Being on the streets, a lot of people, a lot of addicts resort to theft, to stealing from stores, from people, from this and that. I never wanted to do that. That I never felt comfortable doing that. I don't think I would be good at it, and I have a healthy fear of being arrested and being in jail. So trying to find a legitimate way to do that was tough. But after a while, I realized that the people in the neighborhood that I'm in are very compassionate, and they're very generous. So I found a good spot where I stand on the street and I hold a sign, just kind of telling people, hey, I'm homeless, I need help. Anything would be helpful. I'm grateful for anything and everything you can do. And the people of the community have really stepped up. Some give money, some give food, clothing through the winter was huge. But really, anything that I could need to survive was provided by the members of the community. So I can't say thank you enough to them, and I'm forever grateful for everything that they've been able to provide for me to help me kind of survive out here.
Take me, take me, take me, please.
I guess that depends on on where my habit's at. You know, obviously tolerance can go up and down depending on use, but after about 8 hours is when I will start to get sick. After 12 to 16 hours is when I literally can't get out of bed. I'll be throwing up and sweating and just
Take me, take me, take me, please. Leave me, leave me.
wow, the most important person in my life. That's a difficult one to answer, but honestly, I think I kind of see it two ways. I mean, I think myself is really the most important person, because that's where it all starts and that's where it all ends. Like I said, everybody can bend over backwards and try and help me, and it starts and it ends with me. So I think that's kind of what I'm thinking. But I think the real answer to that, kind of after answering all these questions, would be, my mother, because I don't think I would be in this place if she was still alive. I think, my healthy fear of her retribution would be enough to kind of keep me in line, and I don't mean to say that as an excuse or anything like that, but she was certainly important in me becoming the person that I am, and learning the values that I have, and I miss her.
Leave me, leave me, leave me, please.
To really just to stay focused and to remember what it is that you want out of life, and your goals, and just kind of tell myself that none of that can be achieved if you start doing those drugs, doing those hard drugs. It's you think you're stronger than them, and you're not. Nobody is stronger than heroin. Nobody. But I really think it's important for kids to know how serious this is, and how easy it is to get a habit and to get addicted to these drugs. The fun goes away almost instantly, and it's not worth it. I think that's the main message. It's not worth it. I just want to thank everyone for listening to my story. It feels good to share. Because I don't really get to talk about this and to open up. So just thank you all.
I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given, but honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever.